if you're changing things with the tabulators and you're causing a drop off, we are seeing across North Carolina, all of the counties with the numbers, we're seeing that Harris is getting 122,000 less votes than the down ballot Democratic senator candidate. Or in this case, no, it's the superintendent actually in North Carolina.
Wow.
So this isn't the senator, this is the superintendent.
Okay.
And then Trump is doing the opposite. He's getting 191,000 more votes in that case. So we did visualize this for you. And as I said, North Carolina uses that number one brand. 93 of their counties use the number one brand that we talked about. And in this case, it is ES&S. And so this is a baseline real quick. I'm going to show you. So we pulled the data for 2016, North Carolina, how the Democrats and the Republicans performed at the presidential level versus how do they perform at the superintendent level? Because the superintendent is a few races down the ballot, but it's still a really good example of our concerns.
Okay.
So in this case, the way you read this graph, the bottom axis, the x-axis is every county in the state. The y-axis, which is the numbers on the left, it is the percentage difference from the president to the superintendent. If you were above 0%, you got more votes. If you are below 0%, you got less votes. And there's a red and or in this case, there's a blue, which is the Democrats, and a red/orange line per county. And that's for the Republicans.
Got it.
And so we're going to highlight this just because this shows what we would argue is a more normal voting pattern. Both presidential candidates are around 1% to 2% more popular on average. That's normal. We see that going back a few elections. We see that in places outside of the swing states in the 24 election.
Pretty much.
So any questions on this? This is what we're saying is more normal.
But this is normal going back like many elections, right? This is just a normal there's a normal
two elections
pattern,
in the past.
Right, but this you can keep going back further in 1%, 2% difference. That's fairly normal. This is a normal thing. This is 2016, and then things got weird in 2020 and 2024, right? Go ahead.
Yeah, so normal generally looks like 1% to 2% more votes for the president than the down ballot candidates. The president is more popular.
Right.
So we're going to show you North Carolina for 2024. I'll just let you guys look at this for a second.
What the fuck? What? That's impossible. That's literally impossible, especially
explain what you're seeing here.
Just my sister was in the campaign in North Carolina. She was working on the campaign for Kamala. That's nuts. How can it be 100% above the line? I don't see any blue at all. Seeing is what the fuck?
Across every county in North Carolina.
Even the blue counties.
Even the blue counties. Harris is getting less votes than the superintendent. And then the opposite for Trump. He's always getting more votes across every county.
That's it. As we talked earlier, Nathan, that's not a statistical improbability. That's an impossibility. Yeah. It's literally that's
in order for this to be pulled off. So the problem here is it's too consistent. From county to county, it's too consistent. Humans don't vote like this.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Humans can't vote like this. This is indicative of something else potentially changing votes for one candidate.
Stealing. Election manipulation. This is voter.
It could be vote deletion. It could be vote switching. Either way, you're getting less votes than down ballot candidates, and you're getting it all across the state.
It looks like you just
it just is not
like you just photoshopped it and flipped it.
Well, so the mirroring is really interesting as well, as you highlighted before. If you were changing votes from Harris and giving them to the other candidate, it would create a bit of a mirroring effect.
Yep.
Which is interesting that we do see that across not just North Carolina. We see some of the same concerns in Pennsylvania, Arizona, a little bit in Wisconsin. And what's important is we can estimate how many votes this is, but we also have another way to do it as well using precinct level voting data.
This is impossible.
This is North Carolina. Well, let's look at Pennsylvania. I think we talked about this last time, maybe. I don't know if we showed it this way. We broke down Pennsylvania by vote type. Remember, you talked about 2020?
Yep.
And we talked about concerns with mail-in ballots looking far more normal voting-wise? Mm-hmm. Well, so we've put that here for you. This is Pennsylvania for 2024. We have mail-in on the left. it looks a lot more like 2016 for North Carolina.
Yeah, it looks like a normal election.
Both. Right. And then on the right, we have election day, which is where we're seeing a lot of our concern.
Holy shit.
There's the tail.
Yeah, there it is right there. Oh my God.
Wow.
So my question is this, Nathan, we got this last time and we get to see it again. It's honestly infuriating. I don't know. You're the perfect guy because I would be breaking shit right now because it looks like we were stolen from, bro. That's that can't happen. What you just showed us can't happen. And then I love it when you look at the mail-in looks like a normal election. And then you go to the machines and in a normal world, Nathan, the mail-in would look like the same as the voting machines, right?
Let me ask a question as well. If I thought last time we talked about potential manipulation of the voting tabulation machines. So would those not also be tabulating mail-in ballots? What's the difference there?
So what happens is mail-in is normally ran differently election-wise. It's almost like a different election if you think about it. Yeah. What's happening is the counties receive the mail and they process them and tabulate them at the county level. There's generally more security. There's generally a longer period that they can be counted, so multiple days or multiple weeks before the election. Right. What's interesting, election day and early voting, depending on where it's at, is kind of the opposite. It's done at the precinct level. It's done only a few days or one day, depending on type. And there's less security because you have to have every precinct in the county do this. So what's interesting is, yes, we are seeing, they're not the same machines in the sense, although they use the same tabulators, they're ran differently. They operate at different times.
Interesting.
And so we bring up the question then, if there's a compromise of tabulation machines and you are causing this down ballot difference, this drop off anomaly, because you're changing votes, then we're seeing it focused around election day or early voting, depending on location. We saw it for early voting in Nevada. We're seeing it in election day for Pennsylvania. North Carolina, we don't have it as cleanly by vote type, but we're still seeing the concern. And what's interesting is we're seeing it, same concerns in Arizona.
Oh my God.
I visualized Arizona here for you as well. Wow. So we got 2016 on top.
Right.
We're seeing both candidates, and this is 2016, so this is Hillary Clinton versus Trump. We're seeing both candidates, that 1% to 2% overperformance on average. And then 2024, same concern.
Impossible. This is impossible. It's literally impossible.
Yeah. Underperformance all across the state.
You keep saying it. Here, I want to say, I know you're trying to keep. You're trying to be very, very clean, very calm about it. He's trying not
to get sued.
Right. I'm not saying you're sued. I'm like, when you look at this. Okay. So my opinion, being a dumb layman, if you actually look at these graphs and you go, okay, if that's 2016 when we had basically our last normal election, and then you look at 2024 and you realize, wait, so she did so. We watched her rallies. We saw how popular she was. We saw the polls. There's no polling that matches these numbers, right?
We actually had polling that was the opposite outcome of what these numbers are showing.
Right. So
we had,
so there's no poll that
Seltzer poll as well.
Yep.
So there's no poll that shows that these numbers make sense in any swing state.
Iowa, which hasn't been wrong.
So my question is this: you're a smart guy. Can we get like 15 other smart guys to all of us? Because don't you feel crazy sometimes where you look at this and go, "Am I nuts? And should I have some other people look at this?" Like, you know, like we need.
Yeah. Well, so that's the fun thing is, although I'm kind of the one doing the talking and doing this, but my organization, the Election Truth Alliance, it's a group of smart guys. It's a group of smart girls. I think we hit over 50 volunteers with their diverse backgrounds and statistics and data analysis, and we're all sitting in those rooms, having these conversations. Like, what the heck is this? So yeah, although I'm out here, I've seen this. This is the thing. I've seen this for 6 months now. 6 months. I've looked at these graphs as my day job, and it's kind of sunk in at this point. As I said, if this is caused by vote manipulation, we're seeing this pretty consistently across the board. And here's the last one I pulled up for you. I pulled up Wisconsin as well.
Holy shit.
It's not, I will say there are places in Wisconsin we're seeing a little bit more normal. But yes, same problem.
But is that a precinct issue? Is that maybe they didn't get machines in there? Maybe those machines aren't compromised because it's still crazy. It's still great.
But maybe those precincts would have been a landslide.
We need to get Neil deGrasse Tyson on some of this shit to look at statistics because statistically this is impossible. This couldn't happen.
So I'm glad you bring that up. So we did, in fact, go to a election expert, and I'll jump to that point. Dr. Walter Mebane, one of the leading election fraud experts in the United States, if not the world. He is renowned for his experience. He is a professor of political science and statistics at the University of Michigan. He was paid, given a grant by USAID before they got shut down, before they got doged. I think I can say that. So he co-developed the e-forensic model, which is capable of detecting election fraud, statistically speaking. It can kind of estimate confidence of if there was manipulation. It uses precinct level data. So we reached out to him and we said, hey, we have an analysis on Pennsylvania. We have concerns. He ran the entire state of Pennsylvania through his model, through his analysis, and he gave us his working paper. We also did the same thing for North Carolina. So he has applied his e-forensic model to North Carolina and Pennsylvania, and he has put papers out. One of them is on his website. The other we have, and it's not been released yet for North Carolina. But we have the numbers, and we can show you a little bit. What's important, though, is he's well known. He's wrote over 11 papers and done 11 different analyses for elections around the world.
So like in countries where it's pretty shaky, like this guy's the go-to
Bolivia,
guy. Yeah, for like elections that are like, wait, come on, man, right?
Yep, and I think someone put this pretty good. Is he helped to design a tool that they never expected to point at the U.S. They thought they would always be applying it to European or African elections. They never thought that they would apply it to us. And yet here we are. And here's his findings. So in Pennsylvania, his model estimated up to around 225 or so thousand anomalous votes at the presidential race. We didn't look at the Senate races. We didn't look at the down ballots. We just looked at the presidential race.
Holy shit.
And the thing is, what's the margin of victory in Pennsylvania? 120,000 votes. So, and he's got a few different subcategories. He's got, I think, closer to a lower level, maybe 160 or so more confident. But even if it's only 160, his max is 225,000. If that is anomalous votes and it is caused by compromise of our tabulation machines or other vote manipulation, that would be enough to change.
I feel cold.
The presidential race at Pennsylvania.
So in a murder case, you bring up the forensics, expert, and then that closes the deal. That closes the case. Why? So can we
only on TV?